Jolie Gabrielle here. Thank you again for joining me on my channel. I'm so grateful to be here. And this is day 5 of consistency training for me. And so today I'd like to go into beliefs and how important they are to maintain consistency. Yesterday when I was doing my video, I talked about being confused. Now I know I'm a channel of light and blessings, and I want to help people step into their power, or I do already. And I'd like to help more people on a mass scale do that. So let's say like running clinics, we have Elevated Planet, which is our podcast, really helping people learn how to meditate in groups or, something like that. So I really would also like to go around the world and teach people how to meditate. So my meditation is an active praying. I have conversations with Spirit, Creator, Divine, Creator of all that is. I believe in that. I was raised monotheistically, belief in one God. But I do know that there are tools, there are masters, and there are guides on other planes and on other levels. And as long as they speak with and work with my higher self, we're good. We don't enter my energy. But I've been trained how to do that. You don't want that, because what happens is when you let someone else drive your body, things can go wrong. So you just keep all those energies outside of you and have them work with your higher self. So we'll get into that. But beliefs are so important. Like some of the questions I was asking myself was, who are you? What do you believe in? What do you want out of life? And I figured out that money is not my driver. I wish it were my driver, but it's not. And I guess if it were my driver, maybe that wouldn't be a very good thing. But what is my driver? I like to see people overcome their obstacles. I like to see people succeed. I think we all love the hero's journey. And then when the hero reaches where they want to go, we wind up tearing them down. So for me, I'm hoping that I'm not hoping. I've learned how to praise the hero once it reaches its success. A lot of times they turn diabolical and nefarious and crazy, world domination. They start making vaccinations, killing people, buying up, making bunkers. So, maybe when the hero goes on his journey, hopefully he'll stop by my office and get a healing before he gets to where he wants to go. So he can work out all that spiritualized ego and all that energy that needs that world domination. That is a socially engineered construct that we've taken on, because inherently and at our core, humanity is communities. They are connected collaborators, and you have your different people in different lanes, and they were trained, and then their parents pass that on to their children. Now, of course, that keeps us in a box, but sometimes that works really well. Some people call it nepotism, but I just think it's very smart and genius. Why not pave the way for your family behind you to leave a legacy? If you're smart, that's what you're going to do, right? So that's also a belief of mine. Driver isn't money, but to leave a legacy for my children, to make sure their life is okay and that they're going to be all right. I have had so many ancestors and family members have to struggle. Let's let that go. Let's let our children live in the highest and best way possible, live in the way that we dream that we would want to live. And that's something that drives me to create that. So not only seeing people transform, but to leave a legacy for my children and my family, to leave a mark of some kind, even if it's just small, but to affect change in a way that reverberates, right? That's what we want, positive change. So that requires strong beliefs. And strong beliefs, we know where they're located. They're located in the cerebral cortex, the prefrontal cortex. And we really got to stop working in the brain and work in the body. But however, with the brain, we need to calm it down. Left brain, right brain. When we give the logic, the science to the brain can then relax and allow the body to do what it does. That's why I like to talk about what goes on in a mental capacity, because the body is only 1/3. You think of mind, body, spirit. 2/3 is here and in the spirit, in the ether. And it's only 1/3 in the body. And that, the spirit and the mind are the gas. We always talk about how the mind, the spirit, however you want to look at it, is like the hard drive. And the conscious mind, or the body, even if you want to say it that way, is more like the monitor. So whatever is going on in the programming is going to show up in life. Okay, so today I posted a video. I'm doing this workout. I cringe every single time I post a workout online. I asked my trainer, can I please use your thing? And I'm embarrassed. I don't even want to ask to do that. You know, like, to me, all of this is so embarrassing and pedestrian, but I'm in a comfort zone of, I love to do the ostrich and the turtle, you know. Speaking of that, I did a meditation today where I had some energy of primal energy in me. I saw energy of a duck and energy of a rooster, and it was on my left side, and I had to like get that out. I had to literally ask it its names, that energy. What is your name? Why are you, you know? And I had to say, okay, you got to go. So I had to get rid of that energy and fill up with gold light and a new perspective. So what does a duck represent? Quack, 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 talking. And it's on the left side too. So we're talking about feminine energy. The right is the masculine. So the left, we're dealing with quack, quack, quack. It's like a lot of talking, lot of talking, lot of talking. And then what's the rooster? It's a cock. So it's like bravado, you know, with its shoulders back, strutting its stuff. Now, Robin Roberts, my mom, you know, she watches Good Morning America, so, or whatever, Good Day LA, something like that. That woman is on one of those shows. Anyway, she said a word. I was walking my mom in her room or whatever, and I heard it and I looked and I was like, that is amazing. She's like, well, not amazing, but you know what I'm trying to say. It was a good quote. She said, you know, be careful when you strut because you'll stumble. Something, I'm paraphrasing. And that is so true. And that's what a rooster does. So, and then they're also like rule the roost, and then they go and they impregnate a bunch of chickens and have eggs. But they also wake you up cock-a-doodle-doo in the morning. So the duck is quacking, get out of here, stop talking, get to action. And the cock is like, I feel as if there's a bunch of hot air. You know what I mean? This isn't easy work. Like, who wants to sit down, even on camera or not, and be like, I'm a quacky duck and I'm strutting like a rooster and I need to get rid of that energy because it's blocking me from my consistency. Now, a rooster, maybe that energy is good because every morning it gets up and it does its thing, cock-a-doodle-doo. But is that all that it does? And then it wants to go around and feel pleasure. That's rooster energy. Who the hell wants that? Give it to the rooster and the duck. I know you're like, what are you talking about? Trust me, when you get here, you'll understand it all. But in clear sight, I learned to recognize certain symbols and certain things in people's energy. So after you say your name 3 times, I'm able to connect and look into the aura layer and the chakras. And there's certain things that you can see when you're a reader after time and time of cleaning your own energy. I spent 13 months. The first few were just cleaning my own energy, cleaning out my chakras, my aura layer, cleaning my Akashic records, also cleaning off my name. I had to clean my name off. A lot of other stuff, working with crystals. It was a fascinating, amazing time for me. It taught me so much, and it's the reason I'm here today and I'm not 6 feet under, because the well-worn path was about to kill me. Okay, so I said all that to say, to give context to my craziness around, I saw energy of like a duck and a rooster, because those things, when you see that energy, they represent something. They represent a trauma, or they represent a pattern that needs to be resolved. That's why it's important that we pay attention to our intuition and things that come in, because it helps us to be able to clear out that trauma and have things come in. So let's get into the science of it. So the where. It's in the cerebral cortex. Now, the ventral medial prefrontal cortex and the dorsal medial frontal cortex we talked about That one is the belief processing. It processes belief. And to strengthen this part of the brain, we'll get to that, but there are certain vitamins and minerals you can use. Always check with your doctor or your medical practitioner before you begin any type of new program. That I'll be getting to those in a minute. Now, the amygdala, it's a big, big deal when it comes to belief processing and those things. So emotion and decision making goes on in the amygdala. And it's active when we're resistant to changing our beliefs. So the amygdala is a place we also need to work and clear some energy out, some of that social engineering, like our government and these big corporations know these things, and they base their marketing and their programming on science and facts, and they do all of these case studies and like blind testing and all kinds of things in order to get that MK Ultra into our minds, right? And to have us buying instead of taking the time to work with our own energy. Because who the hell wants to do this, right? I mean, I'm seeing roosters and ducks and people are like, oh, okay, bitch, you're crazy. It's not. It's just a part of the process of letting go of some of this energy that is getting in the way. And it shows up differently in those pictures. Trauma is also held in the body, but let's move on. So core beliefs are stored in the amygdala. So we want to dig into the amygdala, clean that out, and then boom, drop down into the heart and make those decisions, because we really want to make decisions with love. So the hippocampus is another area of the brain that regulates belief, emotions, and deals in memories. So for those of you that have people who are going into dementia or have dementia, working and doing things to the hippocampus, working around that, doing some healing, bringing in gold light, as well as the science, along with minerals and vitamins and food that can help. Now, the parietal cortex also stores neural representations of beliefs. So it's basically neural representation. So we're giving beliefs meaning. So the parietal cortex gives your beliefs meaning. It like works it out for you. So we need to strengthen that as well. Now, there's an insular cortex, which deals with emotions and decision making as well, just like it was the amygdala. So the amygdala and the insular cortex are like two sides of the scale here when it comes to emotions and beliefs and decision makings. So we really want the amygdala and the insular cortex to align themselves together. All of this needs to be aligned. But those two definitely, I believe, need to really work together within the brain to create a strong belief and a level of consistency. All right. And then the insular cortex also active when people are resistant to changing beliefs. So it's like those two parts of the cerebral cortex are mirroring each other in some way, but I'm sure they do different things. Now, we talked about the precuneus yesterday, and it's associated with religious beliefs as well. We didn't touch on that. Emotions, self-representation, and cognitive conflict. So that dissonance we talk about, the precuneus is over there wreaking havoc. It's like, let's drink and do drugs instead of be consistent. Or the brain is in there doing its thing. I don't mean personally, I just mean the brain is in there doing its thing. Like, let's party, baby. No, precuneus, I need for you to regulate my emotions and keep me believing in myself so I stay consistent. So it's like when you get these affirmations going, where are they going? Like, what part of you are you talking to? All of you? But you have a name. So if somebody's talking and they're sitting there just talking to a bunch of people, and they don't call anybody's name, it's great. You might listen, but at the end of the day, who are they talking to? So your body is wondering the same thing. That's why science is important. Who are you talking to when you're when you're saying these affirmations? You need to know. I am talking to my cerebral cortex. I am working with that part of my body and my brain when I'm saying affirmations. So to sit there, say your affirmations and sit in the prefrontal cortex. And you're like, how do I do that? Stop making it. See, this is where I don't need to overthink. I overthink in everything else. But right here in the spirit realm, I'm good. I don't overthink it. So you get into the cerebral cortex, you visualize, okay, you know what a brain looks like. Everyone has seen the pictures of a brain. So we have those folds, and you know what neurons and synapses look like, and imaginal cells. If you don't, Google. And so you sit in there and you see these neurons start to change. The negative ones, resolved and dissolved, they can go down the grounding cord, they can go out. And then you bring in that gold light and you realign and rewire your prefrontal cortex. And you just sit there and you do this, and you sit there for a time and you sit in the prefrontal cortex. You work with the parietal cortex, the dorsal, ventricle, all of that stuff. Learn it, know it, see what it looks like, work with it so that those synapses and neurons are now firing in a way that you believe in yourself, right? I keep my eyes closed. All right, now for the science of it, how? On a physical level, the 1/3. You want to look to water, put a little Himalayan sea salt if it's not 3D printed nowadays. Our fruit, our vegetables. Be careful. I mean, go to the farmer's market. I don't know, but I mean, I got a peach the other day, and I was like, well, where's the flavor? Did it die? What happened? Like, it just tastes like nothing. So our food's being 3D printed. So good luck with that. Do what you do. But in the meantime, if you can get a hold of some good stuff such as lutein, DHA, omega-3s, your B vitamins, the whole complex of them, and lots of protein. That is what's going to feed the brain. Now, I can say for me that these things I don't have enough of. I'm intermittent with my vitamins, so that could possibly be a way that could help me with my beliefs. So now when we think about beliefs and we talk about beliefs, we know we're working in that brain in the prefrontal cortex. So we've allowed for that left brain to relax. We've told you, brain, we've let you know, we know who you are, we know where you are, we know what we need to work with. We are in the location. So when we do this healing, put our feet flat on the floor, your palms face up, higher self above you, astral body snapped in, and aura 1.5 feet around you. Ground your energy into Mother Earth. See that visualization of a grounding cord, of a natural earth element, root itself into Mother Earth. Clean it off. Golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles blanketing the inside and the outside. Golden sun, you want to open those feet, hands, and crown chakras. Bring in that golden sun, move it down that grounding cord, clean it off, bring you in the present moment. And then we begin to bring our awareness in the center of our head. And we go ahead and we sit here and we think about, or we just relax and see what comes up. Are there any patterns? The patterns of waffling, wishy-washy, this and that. If you don't stand, it says, if you don't stand for something, you won't stand for it. You will stand for anything, right? So in our world, and what's happening is we're seeing a lot of zombie energy, and lots of things are just going right by us as citizens of this beautiful world, and we're just allowing it to. And we're drooling, and our eyes are crossed, and we're not paying attention to our own lives. So how in the world are we going to pay attention to what's going on around us? So get present, get clear, clean out your spiritual energy, work in the prefrontal cortex. And it's a command. Look, you're jacking up my life. Prefrontal cortex, amygdala, parietal cortex, and all these other things. Look, we've got to get it together. What do you believe in? And my prefrontal cortex is like, I don't know. What do we believe in? So tell it. You tell it, hey, we believe in this. We are here to be a channel of light and blessings, to move people out of darkness and into light, to help them deal with their strong emotions in real time, to bring them back to a place of balance, harmony, and peace. That's why we're here. So whatever is going on in the prefrontal cortex that's keeping me in my comfort zone, that is blocking me from getting in my body and taking action, you may leave now. See your way down my grounding cord, and we fill up with gold light as we run that 15% earth energy and that 85% cosmic gold as it runs through our system, cleaning out our chakras and our aura layers, right? As our higher self sits at a comfortable distance above our crown, guiding the ego. Ego, you default to the messages from the higher self every single day. That's it, that's all. Id, super id, ego, whatever, all of y'all align with the higher self. Boom, and so it is. So now you drop down into your heart chakra. How do you drop down? Just feel, say, I'm in my heart. And you'll feel like a little tingling, maybe a little heat, maybe some wind, whatever. You get in your heart and you breathe, because now we want to slow down our energy. And we want to allow the body to process the next steps. And we be gentle with our bodies. You know, we're very hard on them. I know I am. And so from a heart-centered space, you're going to work with your body and you're going to see maybe pictures. Maybe there's blocks, maybe there's traumas, maybe there's nothing but success or focus and determination. But that's what it looks like I need to bring into my heart. So we do a teaching healing, positive teaching healing, negative teaching healing, trauma teaching healing for divine determination and divine focus. The Creator's put of both of them in the highest and best way with grace and ease. Golden sun above the head, you put in there divine determination. Another one above it, divine focus, 360 degrees of that. Everything that determination, every synonym that aligns with determination is in that sun. Every synonym that aligns with focus is in that sun. Put it above your head, and then now the spaces and the places where that energy of lack of belief in self or in the process and inconsistency, wherever that is, you want to turn that a color. Just leave those golden suns up there for now. Turn it a color and see where it is. So mine is like right around here between the second and the third. And what's so interesting was I saw my first and second chakra were collapsed. And I'm wondering why I have stenosis and why I have a bulging disc. So when you're collapsed like this, how are you moving? How is money going to come in? How are you feeling safe? You have to open up that compression, even on a physical level, because obviously it started spiritually and mentally before it showed up physically. Now we got to reverse engineer that puppy. So that's why it's so important that we move our bodies, we go to the gym, and we work on our own issues. I don't know what doctors are doing now. I love you guys. I think doctors are necessary. They're a part of the process. But the red tape and the bureaucracy behind all of that and the scare tactics keep our doctors keeping us in the dark sometimes. So let's clean out that. Let's align with the best doctor for us. Let's clean out all of our worry, our doubt, our fear around seeing the doctor, around healing, around becoming whole, and around believing that we can. Let's turn all that doubt a bright yellow or green. Okay, where do I see mine? I saw it in the front of my thighs. Side of my hips. Bottoms of my feet, my Achilles heel. I also see it in my fatty turkey arms and the backs of them. All of this is bright green. And then just like a toilet, I flush it down and boom, I bring those golden suns down. I allow them to fill up the spaces and the places in my body that I just moved out. This energy of a lack of focus, a lack of determination, and just all around lack of belief. Let it go. Believe in something. Stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. So take a deep breath in. Exhale. Close your feet, hands, and crown. That's what I'm doing. I'm nice and clean. I let this settle. I see the earth energy retract. I see the gold energy go back. I see the beautiful green flame in my heart as I sit in the center of that, and it's spreading love throughout my body, throughout my aura layer, all the way into my toroidal field and out into Mother Earth in the highest and best way with grace and ease. Thank you. So once again, this is how I do my thing and how I recognize, and I'm just every day, just a little bit at a time, I am digging into what consistency means. Because if it were up to me, it would look a lot different. Like I can get very despondent thinking about 5 years and 10 years from now. Like, what is it going to look like? I mean, are we even going to make it past this November? Like, intact. So to even think in advance sometimes is daunting, and it can be very anxiety inducing. Nevertheless, if we don't do it for ourselves, trust me, someone we don't want doing it for us will be doing it. So sit down, meditate, move out your traumas, ask for support and help, journal, drink your water, exercise, and go in nature. These simple things are cumulative building blocks that help us build morality, ethics, and beliefs in ourselves and preservation of this beautiful planet. And so I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much for joining me for day 5 of my 30 days of consistency, and I'll see you tomorrow.